affects us all. I am Usayome Sally, and today I'm joined by my amazing co-anchors. We have Elsie Godwin and Akanimo Ojo. Hello, ladies.
Hello, Uwa.
Hi.
It's unusual to have me today. Come on, say it. I know
where I was coming there. As you can see, today is not Friday, and we have Akanimo with us. I had to specially request. I started the request from last week. I said, okay, please. I know you are a Friday tonic always, but please, we need your Wednesday.
Do you know, somehow, because I'm here today, I want to forget Elsie, please. I want to forget. Can you allow me get into the holiday mood already? Please.
Well, you look amazing. I love your dress.
Thank you very
colorful.
much. Thank you. So, you know, I'm warming and easing us into the season where we'd see a lot of reds and then a bit of white. So, yeah, you're welcome.
Yeah. How are you, Elsie? Elsie is she's repping some red as well.
Yeah, I can
see her skirt, yeah.
Yeah, we are.
So you'll be
good.
My
my last day on the show for the year, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
yes.
I should be excited about that.
Why you should have actually brought wine.
See, water. The water she gave me was not cold, though. I had to even make my own cold.
You're supposed to do room temperature for your voice. You know?
Am I singing?
All right, so today we're discussing what's it called, issues around dental matter, because you know we know you are about to enter festive season and you'll be doing a lot of ijekuje. So we want to teach you how to take care of your dental all the
hygiene,
what do you call it, dental concerns that you might have in the future, before then and after. So here's what we found as today's quote: every tooth in the man's head is more valuable than a diamond. This is a very, very interesting quote. If you understand this quote, you will know.
How so?
Let one of your this thing start paining you. Now understand that.
Oh, that's terrible. That is terrible. Toothache.
3.9 billion people worldwide are affected by oral conditions, and adolescents are at increased risk due to diet choices and hormonal changes. So Dr. Amy Shabusho is here again for a second time, this time around, to discuss maintaining dental hygiene amidst festivities. So as you're entering, so we'll do that right after the break. Or you're still watching with aluminium cup, I say alumni, hence the name. Now the term cupcakes were first used in 1828, and cupcakes became very popular as they bake much faster than regular cakes, thanks to their small sizes. So lemon is a favorite flavor in the world of cakes and sweets, and this day is a perfect excuse to enjoy a sweet treat with that distinct twist of citrus. Adding lemon flavor to cakes can give them a refreshing kick, and when made into miniature treats of a cupcake, it's especially very tasty. So, National Lemon Cupcake Day. You know, as they talk teeth matter, I'm just thinking.
So you know what the talk we had behind
next year.
Please, I don't like all these things. We're doing, please, viewers just judge. It's a lemon cupcake day, right?
Yeah, I should have brought some lemon cupcakes.
What are we supposed to be doing?
Next year, don't worry.
Thank you. But
I'm going to repent.
I love lemon tart from one of my.
You don't seem to be interested in.
No.
But
I still do it once in a while. I really like it, but like I said, I haven't thought about having it. I've never tasted it, so I'm not going to pretend. But I have cake in my car right now. Like, I'm a cake fan, and it's always chocolates. So I think our topic for today is very important for me as well, so that I will know what I'm supposed to be doing after eating my cake. And
trust me.
2022, and that's referring to rent. It was said by the Lagos State Governor, Babajide Sanwo-Olu. Now, the Lagos State Governor, Mr. Babatunde Sanwo-Olu, has said his administration would enforce a monthly tenancy on property occupancy from 2022 to alleviate annual financial pressure on tenants. Governor Sanwo-Olu said this during the inauguration of the 744-unit Lagos Home Ownership Mortgage Scheme. in Songotedo on Tuesday, December the 14th. Now, you know, this is, when I read this, and he went further to say he had the discussion with the policymakers, the representatives for tenants and then financiers and other people. But my concern really is, are we wired that way?
Are we disciplined? That's the word.
That's number one. Number one, are we disciplined? Number two, are we wired that way? A typical Nigerian, knowing that, you know, it's once you would gather this money, you know, things might not be working out, but you see that leeway of, you know, if I can struggle for the next 3 or 4 months to just make up for the rent. Now, you know, coming to learn this new behavior, there are some monthly arrangements in some accommodation arrangements, they have monthly, but I think what is most popular is the yearly tenancy rate. Again, the way salary structure is, and I think Elsie drew my attention when we're talking about this, is that from your minimum wage, can you pay your monthly rent? Can you? We are known to hustle when it comes to, you know, looking for rent and everything. So I used to
mentioning mentioning traders, you know, the discipline actually for that monthly rent come to all these people that live in very, very low income homes. You know, they pay it consistently monthly, they pay their rent. So they are already used to that system of monthly rentals. But the challenge I have is that discipline where, you know, even with the yearly rent stuff, you know your rent is supposed to be due in January. I don't know what you're doing. You're going on holidays. You're not thinking about your rent. Then you now come and use.
Don't remember.
So maybe it's for this case that
it's clear.
And coming up that isn't working for me in my head, because I don't think monthly rent is where our problem is right now. Lagos State has a lot of problems that he needs to focus on and get things done. So
all right, well,
if he can please focus on other things and leave monthly rent right now,
we'll be all right.
We'll be all right.
Okay, moving on to your story quickly.
Discharged and acquitted the defendants after the evidence of self-defense was established by the testimony of the witnesses. So apparently there was domestic violence, and in defending herself, her own stab became the death of the man. So all I'm saying is, let's live in peace in our homes. I remember the drama of yesterday of those being legally married and those being, they were legally married in the morning. No, they were not legally married in the morning, but evening they are legally married. So let's just live in harmony. I don't believe that anyone should be raising their hands on anyone, whether you're a man or a woman. If you have issues, solve it amicably. This story is important to me because of this festive period. There are people that have hoped that, my husband is supposed to provide this, or this is how we are going to spend this money, and it's not going that way, and then fight ensues and something like that. So please, we need peace while celebrating the birth of our Lord Jesus Christ.
Amen.
Don't fight so that they will not stab you and you will die, because self-defense is working. Thank you.
I can see that one. As well. So my story is actually quite disturbing, and it's something that I just want to draw some attention to a lot of parents, because again, because we're raising young children, it was important for me to take this story when I saw it. So Grammy winning singer Billie Eilish had said, or Eilish had spoken about an addiction to watching pornography, and she said that addiction started at the age of 11, and how it gave her nightmares and messed her up when she started dating. So she turned 20 on Saturday. She was speaking on a show, and she said that I think porn is a disgrace. I used to watch a lot of porn, to be honest. I started watching porn when I was like 11. And she was thinking, you know, at that point it was cool and all of that, until she got, she said, I think it really destroyed my brain, and I feel incredibly devastated that I was exposed to so much porn. And she added, saying that she suffered nightmares because of some of the content that she watched. They were quite violent and abusive. You know, I was going to come to what Elsie had talked about, you know, but it's a long read. If you can find the article, I think it was done by CNN. You know, go and read it up, because you see, I keep saying that a lot of adults that we have today, they have messed up relationships, they feel that they have to have multiple sex partners, they feel they have to do all of these things. It's because of the exposure to some of these things like pornography, right? You are watching pornography. Sex wasn't meant to be the way they depict it, and trust me, with the kinds of videos that is available online now,
that's where the expectation comes from. They are making money. So what I wanted to learn to your voice, and the thing is, children should be children, and we should allow them grow. Because growing up, one of my neighbors allowed his son that was less than 10 to watch that. He's exposing the son so that the son is aware and doesn't get it from somewhere else. There's a difference between porn and sex education, clearly.
Yeah. Yes.
There's a difference, and parents should know the difference. Just because, you know, you had a horrible experience, you can save your children. My concern is really for the children. If you're an adult and you're grown and you decide that some form of sexual activity, after becoming aware of the implications, is what you want to do.
We have a lot of messed up adults
today. That's what we're talking about.
Pornography.
That's what I'm saying, that leave the children alone. When you grow up and you become an adult and you want to explore, and you see that this one where somebody is flogging you is the one you like.
Is that exploring that you are saying is messed up like this?
At what age?
I keep my opinion to myself on this one.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes.
It's allowed.
Businesses in Africa can be very challenging. In Nigeria, it is particularly intimidating, and successful builders have learned how to navigate a hostile environment to unlock opportunities. But one major challenge businesses face is how to filter through the noise and identify where their ideal customers exist. Get insight and practical steps from industry players and captains of industries.
4:30 p.m. to 5:30 p.m.
Politics has helped shape the decision of the polity, from conspiracy theories to good old-fashioned comic politics.
These are the result of tomorrow's election. Okay, you have it already.
I am not hungry. If I need appointment, all I need to do is to start praising government.
Plus, politics will fill the polls of the country, from friends to frenemies, even strange bedfellows, to clones and stooges. We go beyond the rhetorics and the drama to analyze the story behind the story.
Let anybody come and say. The moment we stop having charlatans occupy political offices, we will curtail hate speech.
Plus Politics, not just another political show. It's about putting you, the citizens, in the know.
What we do not understand, we will stigmatize.
What you can see is the remaining of the tanker that exploded.
He suffered equally confessed.
Thanks for staying with us. Now, oral health, as defined by the World Health Organization, is a state of being free from mouth and facial pain, oral and throat cancer, oral infection and sores, periodontal, that's gum disease, tooth decay, tooth loss, and other disorders that limit an individual's capacity in biting, chewing, smiling, speaking, and psychosocial well-being. We all indulge in loads of junk. Now, so how do we, how do you rather plan? How are we planning, to protect our mouth before, during, and after the festive season? Now, please let us hear what you have to say. Remember, you can join the conversation. Send us an SMS or WhatsApp to 081-803-84663. So let me run through quickly. Elsie, how are you planning to protect your teeth and your mouth?
twice a day.
The way she's saying it, you know that they like.
By brushing my teeth.
You might not say it confidently.
Twice a
like
day.
by brushing my teeth.
And I also want to go on, what's that thing we do?
Floss?
Yeah, I need to go and do that.
Or scaling and polishing?
Scaling and polishing, rather.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I need to do. But
Okay.
yeah, I'll try to brush twice a day.
You try. She has changed it now.
I said it.
Okay, how about you?
So I think my business is keeping me in check. Yeah, it's keeping me in check. And because my dentist is here, I have to be a good girl too.
All right, so passion for dentistry, unparalleled customer service, and a transformative vision are what propelled Dr. Amy Taore Shambusho, popularly known as Dr. Amy, from operating a small dental practice less than 10 years ago to becoming Nigeria's largest and the most successful dental practice today. Smile 360. Now, Smile 360 has branches in Lagos and Abuja. Dr. Amy was educated in France at the University of Toulouse. Yeah. Her uncompromising commitment to providing access to superior dental care for all patients in Nigeria has resulted in being awarded Best Dental Provider in Nigeria by the Nigerian Healthcare Excellence Award for the past 5 years consecutively. Are we not honored to be having the best with us live on Waste? Thank you so much. And this is actually her second appearance, but physical first time. Thank you so much, Doctor.
I'm so happy to have you.
Thank you. We are happy to have the best of the best.
Yes.
So just trust yourself that anything she tells you this season, follow it toot.
I will follow.
Actually, I'm going to follow it to the letter, but I like that. Follow it
toot. Yeah. You will follow it and you'll be all right. December, you'll not be holding your chin. But thank you so much, Doctor. I mean, this is actually an interesting conversation because I was just thinking, what do we do? Because we're all trying to find ways to give back to our audience, you know, especially this festive season. And it just occurred to me that a lot of us will be munching on so many crappy things when it comes to, at that time, we do not care.
This is our cheat period.
This is our cheat period. We want to eat everything.
Cheat month.
Yeah. How you say no? We want to eat everything, and you know, and I know how sometimes I struggle with certain kinds of meals after I've eaten and all of that, you know, and people, they don't necessarily pay attention when it comes to, they can pay attention to a fever, they can pay attention, but you know, dental hygiene is still one of the biggest areas where only very few people actually take seriously, right? And it's one of the most crucial areas that we need to actually check when it comes to our health check. You know, so I just thought, you know, let's have a conversation as to the things we're supposed to be doing before all this Christmas that we're entering, you know, during the festive season and also after the festive season. How do we protect and maintain a good dental hygiene, at least to give us an overall well-being? Yeah.
Right. Thanks for having me on the show. And of course, I'm sure that your people who are listening to the show are glad to have you because, you know, we have great representative with beautiful smiles here. You know, so I'll say kudos. You definitely are doing the right thing.
Thank you.
It's definitely a good topic because a lot of time we're all thinking about shopping and, you know, buying gifts, etc. And we don't think about our health. You know, and oral health, this is the gateway to everything that happens in your body. And everything you're going to take during the festive season will start from your mouth, you know. So I like the way you presented it as what do we do before, during, and after. You know, that got me thinking about, oh, okay, I never thought about it this way. But before, one thing I will actually recommend is that as you're going shopping or planning some holidays, perhaps planning a visit to the dentist, you know, and especially as a family, because a lot of the kids, maybe those who are teenagers that are in boarding school, for example, at home, let's make sure that, you know, we go out as a family, having to visit the dentist, and a lot of dental practices are open during the holiday because we know as professionals that is not the time for us to go on holiday when you are available, you know. So a lot of clinics will be open. Go have your teeth checked, to have your scaling and polishing done. Perhaps look at some of the areas of your mouth that are getting weak so that things don't go bad during the holidays because there'll be times where some practices will be closed and you don't want to have a tooth emergency during that period. So please, this is the time to go have a good clean. And I'm sure once you clean your teeth, you'll have some advice about how to take your oral hygiene to the next level. How you be careful about what you take in and how not to stain your teeth, you know, as you indulge in the holidays. So that is my big recommendation on what to do before, you know, the major holidays. Yes.
Do you want to talk about during?
Yes. Let's go about during.
I have a question.
During these holidays, we have a lot of things that are already planned. I've already received a big fruit cake.
Aha.
You know, it will fill the mouth. And for tooth decay to occur, you need what? Tooth structure. You need sugar. But most importantly, you need time. So I'm not saying you shouldn't take sugar. You shouldn't take, you know, your
all
cake
the cakes
and all
of that.
But the most important part is how long that sugar stays
in your mouth.
Okay, so that time factor is very important. So ensure that if you're taking your cakes and all that, brush not just twice a day, because you have time and you might be at home. Why not brush 3 times a day? Okay, have you picked that up?
Some people can't even
3
do
times a day.
And this
during the holiday, you know, let's do more than 2 times a day.
Yeah.
And
during the holiday, because we're eating more sweet things that period. Oh, okay, I get you.
You know, more sweet things. So do that. Pay attention to even the sour things that, you know,
like
juices, lime, etc. You know, they're good.
But sorry to cut in.
Yes.
If you're not over munching, I mean, there are people who can control themselves and are not eating junk.
So we see
you don't have to do 3
are.
times, right? Or do you have to?
Well, you know that any food has some form of sugar.
Okay.
You know, and the food particles are actually, you know, the ones that combine with the bacteria that we have in our mouth. As we speak, we have millions of bacteria in our mouth. Yes. Okay. So once you give them any substance to feed on, they produce acid. And that acid is what attacks the enamel of your tooth and start creating that tooth decay. Okay, so it's not just sugar. Okay, more sugar, you know, bacteria are celebrating even more, and then that acid attack happens even faster. But you know, after every meal, brush and avoid snacking. That's another thing. Okay, because we'll be at home, we'll be relaxing, the family. Yes, there's a main meal, but there's always little things here and there. So avoid snacking. We're still on the during the holiday.
Yeah. So what's this thing they use instead of brushing?
Floss.
No.
Okay, the mouthwash.
Can you replace brushing?
All right, I will speak about what to do. All right, speak about what to do, and I'll definitely speak to the floss. Okay. One thing I want to add is that during the holiday, what happens? We're taking juices, but some people go overboard. That's the time for what? Champagne, wine, etc.
I think I should bring wine in that glass.
So water, we'll do water now. But what you want to know is that alcohol, beyond sugar that will come with the drink, tend to dry up your mouth. Okay, and when you have, and it's the #1 factor for oral cancer.
Oh wow,
yes.
Alcohol.
Yes, combined with smoking. So if you're thinking about that glass of champagne and the cigar, not a good combination and not a good idea. Okay, but most important is for you to know that alcohol dries up your mouth. Okay, especially if you've had that glass of wine and then perhaps had more than just 1 glass.
And, heavy drinkers.
You know, you probably doze off without brushing at night. We'll talk about that. You wake up in the morning, what happens? You know, you sometimes don't have a fresh breath.
Very bad breath.
Because your mouth has been dried by the alcohol. So just know that a dry mouth doesn't favor a good hygiene. So water, all right, is the best thing to have on your table during the holiday. So I think that's a good commitment.
I don't think
water,
people will be glad to hear
that,
but you know.
Brush regularly so that you don't leave the sugar and the food on your teeth, because that time factor is what I want to bring here. Okay, enjoy your cake and all that, but ensure that it doesn't stay on your teeth for too long. And of course,
how long is too long?
How long is too long? Good question. Do you know that an hour after you've brushed, you already have plaque forming over your teeth? Okay, so I will say a maximum of 3 to 4 hours in between meal. If you can brush, that's why I said 3 times a day at least. Okay, it will be a good thing during the holiday. During the other times, we can't do 3 times a day. We're at work. I mean, I left home this morning. I'm still,
which is why we're asking if mouthwash can
suffice.
Mouthwash, okay. There's mouthwash. Some people are asking also the sugar-free gums, right? Because those are the things you can carry in your bag, and then you know you chew on it. Okay, so that can work during the day. You know, have some sugar-free gum, and then the mouthwash is really something that you want to use after brushing. Okay. Yes.
So it does not substitute.
It doesn't. Okay. You need that mechanical effect of the bristles on the toothbrush to actually work in dislodging all these particles and sweets. So what you can do to your adding to your sugar-free gum is to add those travel pocket toothbrushes. You know, the ones that
you can fold.
Yes, that you can fold. Have that in your bag. Even if you don't have toothpaste, it's fine. You know, just rinse with water and you're good.
Wow.
Okay? So, but in the evening, please don't go to bed without brushing. All right? Because that
I
is
was
the
going to
killer.
ask, because you talked about a combination of alcohol and cigarettes. So a lot of young girls now, they don't do cigarettes. They say they do shisha. And that's, and why are you looking at me?
Why did you bring me to this show today? Is it to attack me? Let me know.
Did they mention that?
Question.
You know, and they tell you no, that shisha is not alcohol, that it's just flavored.
Not tobacco.
Yes, it's not tobacco. It's just flavored. What do they call them? Well, they know what they call it. It's flavored something.
I don't know what she said.
Yes,
you know.
Yes.
So it does it.
Should we not talk about it?
Go ahead.
Not sure why you are.
Yeah, so I just wanted you to speak to that, because this is what we see a lot of young people take. They take shisha more now. They don't do cigarettes, they don't do cigars, they do more of shisha. So is it the same effect that it would have as cigarettes and cigars?
Wow, that's a very good question. So I will say one thing that the shisha and the tobacco will have as an effect on the mucosa is because there's some form of heat. Okay, now you're going to say, Dr. Amy, have you tried that? You know, how do you know? Okay, so there'll be some form of heat as well that comes into the mouth, you know, and all these have the same effect in the sense that they dry that first layer of your mouth. Okay, so that is something that you don't want to do frequently. I mean, once in a while, yes, but you know, not something that will become a habit. Just like, you know, this, but definitely water. You can beat that.
Okay, you know what? Let's just go on a very short break.
Wow,
we'll come back. Yes, so just like that. I'll come to Elsie and come to you, AK. Stay with us. We'll be right back. Now, if you are just tuned in, we are having an amazing chat with Dr. Amy on maintaining dental hygiene amidst festivities. Now, as you all know, festivities, so many drinking, eating, she don't already tell you, say, drink water. Don't drink alcohol. So this is what we're doing today. We want to teach you how to pay attention.
Earlier, when you were introducing the topic, and that's the effect of hormonal changes on our teeth. Can you please touch on that? Because that piques my interest. Yeah.
Interesting. Definitely, I see we have women on the show, so it's definitely something that we could speak about. The hormonal changing will affect more your gums, okay? They'll affect your gums more because that's where you have more of the
sensitivity,
the vessels and all that. So one thing that I've heard, you know, people say is that for every child I've had, I've lost a tooth. You know, people used to say that, you know. And what happens is that, you know, your gum gets weaker with some of these hormones, and then the gum doesn't hold the tooth as much. And that's what we call periodontal disease, or just commonly as gingivitis. So you'll see that during your period, or, you know, during maternity, you know, you tend to have your gums bleeding a lot, okay? So that's the impact on those hormones on our gums, and we have to be aware of that. And that's why ladies will have to pay really special attention, not just to brushing, but really flossing as well, okay? So that will keep those gums. And remember, if you're brushing and you see a bit of blood on your toothbrush, it's actually a good sign for you to know that that spot has an inflammation. Stay a little longer, not harder. Stay a little longer. And you see that after 2-3 days, the bleeding index, I mean, the bleeding will reduce, and then you get your gums nice and pink instead of a reddish and inflamed gum. Okay? Yes.
Wow.
Interesting.
Okay, so my question is really about oral health and self-esteem. Because some people don't know that, you know, the condition of your mouth also affects your esteem as a person and how you carry yourself and how you smile. I remember when you made me realize that I had when I smile, I don't know if you noticed, but she picked it, I smile with just my upper teeth. You would never see my lower teeth. And she mentioned to me when I went to consult that it was because I was trying to add, so I have a bit called, hide my open bite. So my two teeth, so now I'm working on it, so it probably will come together. But they don't come, they usually didn't come before I accommodate for that shortcoming.
100%. This is really deep, yeah? One thing you know is that the brain, registers things that even if we don't control, okay? So even today, it happened to me. I saw a patient and I was like, have you noticed you're smiling more to the right and the left, your lip is dropping. And that's the first thing that you display. It's just like, that's the, the show. And if you're not confident with your smile, even if you think, oh, I'm a strong person, especially men say, hey, I don't need my smile. You will be perceived as someone that is less competent. And we're not even talking about the confidence, okay? Somebody that's less competent. Of course, your confidence level will drop. You will appear as someone who is not well put together, Apart from the fact there is an impact on how you function in terms of speaking, chewing, etc. So there is that aspect. If you are not happy with the way your teeth are coming together and you're not happy with your smile, it's never too late, to take care of it, because of how you feel deep inside you. Even if you don't say it, your brain has registered that you have to adjust in a way, and that's what happened. But that you will be, judged. It's unfortunate, but some people have missed interviews, because of the appearance of their smile. All right.
So let's talk mouth odor as it relates to because I know that you have some pre-existing health conditions, for instance, like diabetes, they tend to have, odors and all of that. So how do they deal with, maintaining dental hygiene, especially when you already know this is what you're doing? Is brushing just enough? Or, staying hydrated, or do they need to do something extra, especially for people that have pre-existing health conditions and they're already dealing with, that bad breath and all of that?
That's a very good question. Knowing that bad breath could come from something that is from the stomach as well, but a lot of the time it is something that is located in the mouth. You mentioned diabetes, but think about even if you're taking a substance that dries your mouth. Having a dry mouth is really to take care of your oral health. But that anytime you have an inflammation and your gum bleeds, even without you knowing, that sulfur, that stays in your mouth is what gives you that bad breath. Now, it has nothing to do with the morning breath that we all have, when we wake up. You understand? Okay.
Well, I have it as well.
Just because we slept for, long
hours. Because maybe I wake up in the middle of the night, in between, to take water, so I don't have bad breath.
Generally, that's what we know about that morning breath, But when it goes beyond that, then you know that there's something that you need to take care of. Visit your dentist, and that's why you have those 2 visits per year that the dentist will help you spot some things that you don't know.
That's the recommended 2 per year.
Oh, yes.
So you talked about stained teeth when you were talking about the kinds of food that we eat that get stained and all of that. So I want you to touch on that a bit more. And again, I've seen a lot of people do it. Uti knows the name. This teeth whitening thing that your teeth looks very, for me, it looks very, it looks funny because it looks like fluorescent, Yeah. So maybe touch on that a bit. Is that advised, for people that want to go into okay, I want to have a better smile, I want my teeth to be white and all of that, and stained teeth? Because I have stained teeth, and I think it was as a result of, I hear that I took a medication when I was young that stained my teeth. So that's what is giving me stained teeth. I didn't used to smile before, but now I smile well.
Oh yeah.
So it's from within.
So sorry, let me just add to Uwa's question to the teeth whitening. Does it also have an adverse effect if done too frequently?
Okay.
So just add that.
Good question. So let me start with the stain, because we talked about the wine or anything that we can have during the holiday that could stain our teeth. Now, if you brush, that will take away the stain, but after a while, your own color stain, okay, your own tooth shade. Now, you won't take it further. Why? Because as we said, with time, your teeth actually get darker. So why not? You understand? Why not give it 1 or 2 shades lighter by having what we call a home salon dentist, not at your beauty salon, okay? Because if you use the wrong product, with the wrong concentration, it will create some teeth sensitivity and then other conditions as well that will not even benefit you, So it's very
So she asked how often are we supposed to do
the whitening? It depends. I did it once in my life, you know, done, and I'm not going to do the one that I picked because it gave me sensitivity. So that's what works for me. And I know someone that does it every 2 years, you know. But I will say once every 3 years, perhaps, you know. All right. Otherwise, you just do the take home, which is less concentrated. But again, it's still going to be your dentist recommending what's best for you. I have very sensitive teeth, so I know that the whitening is going to make it even more sensitive. So your dentist will tell you where do you fit in.
Okay, so I know, I mean, I'm not a doctor or a dentist, but from the little we did in biology, I know there's supposed to be.
You have to go there.
There's supposed to be a relationship between your nose, your ear, your mouth, you know, or the sense organs, right?
Yes.
How possible is it that somebody's mouth is smelling and they don't know? Like, is it something that's supposed to be normal?
Yes, that's very true, because you have an internal circuit, you know, whereby you don't perceive. It's like, if I've put some perfume this morning, you probably will tell me, oh, I love your perfume, but I don't even remember.
Smell it anymore.
Does that really? Yeah. So it's the same thing, whereby you can't perceive a certain, you know, perfume or odor if it's within your internal circuit, if I put it that way. You know, it has to be someone else. Okay, now we have the mask that we're wearing. If you wear your mask, that actually comes back to you. So you have chances of perceiving it more, you know, before others perceive it. So, yeah.
So I'm sure you've dealt with some of these issues. How would you recommend we share with someone who's having such issues to see?
It's like, well, you're not
I say it in the best way.
So I will tell you what has happened.
Okay.
I have, and that for the mouth odor, the bad breath, and also snoring. I've had situations like that where the wife is like, I don't know how to say this to my husband, you know. And I said, a family visit to the dentist, you know. So she will tell me in confidence, and when the patient comes, obviously we examine, and we ask some of those questions, you know. Do you know, and of course we see certain things that prompt us by, you know, to say that there must be a situation here that could lead to this, and we need to fix it. Just like if someone is snoring and you're not able to tell the person that, look, you're snoring and I can't sleep at night. Coming to the dentist,
for me, because it will be impossible for me because you have to know. Because I can't sleep.
You can't sleep.
I cannot sleep with you snore. You have to.
But you know,
we will not sleep together because you would wake up.
I will not be in bed.
So gifting someone a session at the dentist should be something we should think about doing this.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah,
so that was part of the gift. Why not to have
So you talked about before, during. So now let's quickly concentrate on after, right? After the festivities, what do we need to be doing? You know, you mentioned you need to visit at least 2 times, you know, in the year.
Yes.
Visit the dentist. So what else are we supposed to be doing?
Well, hopefully you've not had to, you know, come as an emergency during the festive period at the dentist because, you know, you didn't have any to bite on any hard stuff, you know. But bottom line is, as part of your resolutions, you know, ensure that you commit again to visiting the dentist. Commit to changing your toothbrush, you know, because you have to change your toothbrush every, every 3 months. As soon as the bristles, you know, start flaring, then you have to change your toothbrush. And then just commit to, you know, beautifying your smile. Why not? Okay? Because the smile has power. Okay? So you want to ensure that you invest in your smile, not just from a health perspective, but from the visibility and the impact that a smile can do for you.
So Dr. Amy, you touched on bristle, because I hardly have toothbrushes that goes separate. Even when I'm throwing it away, it's still intact. Because
we're suspecting you brushing this teeth well.
So that's where I'm coming to. Because a lot of people say that it's best to use the mechanical brushes, right? I don't know, is that true, or you can still use your manual brush and achieve the same effect?
Oh yeah, you can use even your chewing stick.
Because I'm not using power now.
Because I did my thesis on chewing stick, and if you have the right technique, the tool, you know, doesn't really matter. Okay? So from chewing sticks to, you know, the regular brush to the battery operated toothbrushes, you know, it's all about the technique.
Okay. And what's the technique? So you got gift bags for us.
Ensure.
Yes. So you want to show us the technique?
I didn't bring
the
prop,
it's coming.
You know. So ensure that when you're brushing, you actually brush your gums and your teeth together. Okay. Don't just brush your teeth, because sometimes we just brush the teeth and we're doing movements that are very minimal, and perhaps that's why your bristles are standing straight. Okay. From the gums to the teeth, from the gums to the teeth, on the outside, on the inside. And then brush these areas where we're chewing on that are flat. That's the only area you can brush with horizontal movements. Okay? And by the time you do that for the top, it's 1.5 minutes. You do the same thing for the lower. About 3 minutes brushing. So if you're spending just 30 seconds, you would understand why you're okay.
You need to spend
you need to spend
3 minutes.
3 minutes brushing.
So what are these, Vico?
Okay. All right. Let's see. I'm not sure if there's something dental in it.
Oh, okay.
You know?
Oh, okay. I just saw the dental bag.
But she was kind enough to
Oh, she got us gift. Okay.
Yes.
I thought it was something dental.
Well,
so
something dental on the cover.
On the cover.
It shows toothpaste and toothbrushes and mouthwashes and
we should always floss, right?
Please.
Okay.
Flossing, or there's even now what we even recommend more is what we call interproximal brushes. They're nice, tiny brushes, like Christmas tree brushes that you take between the teeth, and that does even more than the floss. But one thing you need to know, no toothpick. Please commit to.
Funny thing is, Dr. Amy,
to call wisdom flossers, you know, there are those floss
that has the
yes. Please use the floss side, not the pick side, you know. So using those wisdom flossers or the floss is the best way, you know. So no toothpick, because if you use the toothpick, you're going to dislodge that piece of meat that is stuck between your teeth and gums, okay? But your floss will actually push the gum higher. So the next time you're eating, you're going to have even a bigger space where food will get stuck. And then, so it's a vicious circle, okay? So no toothpick, please. Floss, or what we call TP brushes, to dislodge that nicely.
Wow.
Fantastic.
Now that's the toothpick one is a new one for me. I didn't know that.
Oh, you didn't know that?
I didn't.
Well, you have
360 smile.
Right,
This is from BC. Thank you, BC. So should we brush if we have fruits?
Yes, and I know there used to be a time where we say, okay, biting an apple and it's as good as having your teeth cleaned, okay? And don't forget that the apple has acid in it, okay? So yes, even after fruits, it's good to brush your teeth because there's sugar, there's acid, so it's even those two components that help the bacteria to produce, you know, plaque. So you want to make sure that you brush. But again, it's the duration, regardless of what you eat, cake, fruits, juices. You can play some nice music.
Dr. Amy's teeth is, if you see it, is pristine. So how many minutes do you brush your own? So that maybe we'll just follow you.
You know, I think you can, you're very welcome, but as we say, you know, that is a French way.
Yes.
Le cordonnier est le plus mal chaussé, which means the person who does the shoemaker, right, is not the one that wears the best shoes.
Yeah.
You know? But I try, you know.
Quickly. Let me just ask this question. If we grow old, will we lose all our teeth? So what can we do? That's an old age and teeth. Just quick, I know.
Okay. You know, it used to be times whereby our flossing, please. That's why I'm really insisting on that. And you should be able to keep your teeth for the rest of your life, as long as your dentist is able to spot some of those things. So no worries, no worries.
It's so interesting. You know, we didn't even touch on children, so they should just replicate everything that the adults are doing, right?
Yes, yeah.
Because children are the ones that are thinking, I bought a box of...
children, I'll just add some habits here,
okay,
whereby if they're sucking their fingers and things like that, make sure, because it could actually, you know, create some, how can I say it, malformation of their jaws, you know, because they are growing. So visit an orthodontist. So remember, a dentist and an orthodontist are two different specialists, okay? An orthodontist is the only one that is qualified to move your teeth and jaws to make them function and, of course, beautify them. Okay. I'm an orthodontist. I've been doing this for over 30 years.
I can see that.
And I love
and we love having you around. With
and by the way, I'm the president of the Nigerian Association of Orthodontists.
Oh! So as you see, the ones you want to keep. It's just, yes, yeah, it's an unknown author. So if you don't know, you don't have to brush it, but the one you want to keep, brush it. It's up to you to do the right thing. But thank you so much, Doctor. I think we learned a lot today. I mean, we learned a lot because a lot of people are going to be indulging in alcohol, especially alcohol. So I like that idea where you talked about, just please stay clean, drink water, no dirty December, and it's not me that said, it's Dr. Amy that said it.
Dr. Amy did not say no dirty December.
No, carry your
dirty December.
Carry your toothbrush. Carry your toothbrush.
Dirty is D-E-T-T-Y. Define your dirty.
Okay, please let your dirty be water.
Yes, water.
I
say water.
All right, so before we go, do ensure you follow us on Instagram. Thank you so much, Dr. Amy. Thank you.
Pleasure. Thanks for having me.
AK, thank you, Elsie. I think we had a fantastic conversation.
Yes.
Follow us on Instagram's head is more valuable than a diamond. It is simple, though. We'll see you guys tomorrow at 8 p.m. as we bring another great conversation to your screen. Enjoy.
Increase the reach of your events or business services. To advertise on PlusTvAfrica,